How does investment in human capital affect gross domestic product? Well, once again, you got to break down the question into a couple of parts. You have this thing called investment. That means to put money into. So if you're the note-taking person, you need to put investment dash to put money into. Human capital, if you don't know what that is, human capital is education, training, healthcare, anything that we put into a human being to help that human being become more productive. Okay, if I'm sick all the time, then I'm not at work most days, then I can't be as productive as if my boss would give me affordable health care, right? Because if I'm at work all the time producing and constantly making stuff for the company, then I'm more productive than if I was sick all the time. So that's human capital. Education, if I can read and write, I can do my job better than somebody who cannot read and write. So it's worth it to educate the people that work for you. That's an investment. If I hire somebody that can't read and write, but I need them to read and write to do the job, then I pay somebody to teach them how to read and write. That's an investment because I hope that one day, further on down the road, that person can now read and write and is going to make my company a lot of money because they can now read and write. So that's how investments work. You put money out there hoping to get much more in return. Human capital, of course, has to do with humans, and capital is anything that helps business grow. Gross domestic product, or the GDP, is what is our output? What are we putting out there? It's not the combination of buying and selling, but it's what are we able to produce in a year? That's what gross domestic product means. So now you're looking at the question, you have all the information. What does investment in how does investment in human capital affect the GDP? Well, here's how it affects it. It's very simple. And if you invest in human capital, your GDP automatically goes up because people can produce more. If people are well-trained, well-educated, and healthy, then they can produce a lot more, they can output a lot more than people who are not trained, can't read and write, and are unhealthy. It's just the bottom line. In countries where, and here's how we measure investment in human capital. In countries where the literacy rate is real high, that means we've put a lot of time and effort into getting people to read and write. So like if you got a 90% or 99% literacy rate, then that usually means your GDP is going to be really high because you've invested the necessary money into your workers to make them more productive. So that's how it affects it. You invest in human capital as a country or as a business, your GDP as a country is going to go up. You don't invest in human capital, you don't put money into human beings, your GDP is probably going to be pretty low. Thanks for watching.